Hello everyone and welcome back to another Monster Hunter video. Today I'm going to be talking about if Zamtrios and Agnaktor still have a chance to make it into Sunbreak. If you do enjoy this video, I have more Monster Hunter content on my channel, so check it out if you're interested. Now without further ado, let's go. So if you don't know already, with the reveals of Lunageron and Magma Almudron, people have started to question if Zamtrios and Agnaktor still have a chance to make it into Rise. So before these reveals, people were fairly certain that they have a really good chance to make it in, since Agnaktor and Zamites were already in the game in base Rise, and they really seem to fit that kind of G rank or Master rank level of monster. And since Lunageron and Magma Almudron seem to take some of their traits, like for example, Lunageron uses ice armor, which is very similar to Zamtrios, and Magma Almudron has the same gimmick as Agnaktor, where he goes into the floor and into the lava and comes out in a heated state where he's more easy to hit. And people are starting to say that these inclusions in Sunbreak with new monsters completely outrule Zamtrios and Agnaktor from making it into the game. Now I still think Zamtrios probably has the same likelihood of getting into the game. For one, because he is such a unique design compared to Lunageron. I mean, they're completely different skeletons, they're completely different monster types, completely different armor sets, everything like that. Also, Zamtrios' ice armor is just one part of his fight, while the digging and then the balloon mode later on completely differentiates himself from that. So I think Zamtrios has a really good chance to come back, even with Lunageron being in the game and being kind of like a main focus of Sunbreak. While Magma Almudron, I think, definitely rules Agnaktor a bit lower, but I still think Agnaktor has a really good chance to make it into Sunbreak, simply because of his fight and design. While I think Magma Almudron and Agnaktor are more similar than Lunageron and Zamtrios from a design perspective, because they are both Leviathan, so I think that definitely does take it down a bit, because we will already have a fire Leviathan in the game at that point. I still think Agnaktor has a good chance, maybe slightly lowered, but still a good chance to make it into Sunbreak because of his main gimmick of the fight, which is his beams. Now, Magma Almudron, out of everything that we've seen so far, only pretty much uses his mud mechanic that have been changed to lava and magma, and doesn't really seem to borrow too much of Agnaktor's fight. So I think on a fight perspective, they are very different, even though the heated state may be similar. So I think they could each offer a unique experience in Sunbreak if they're both in the game. So with their fights being so different, I think there is still a good chance that Agnaktor could make it into the game. But now you may be asking, is there any precedent for Capcom to use very similar monsters in one game? And yes, there is a ton of it. If you played World, you probably know what I'm talking about already. Radobon was a new monster, and they also brought back Uragon, which honestly is more similar to each other than Magma Almudron and Agnaktor, because Radobon is basically the same as Uragon, and they created it for World while also bringing back Uragon. So if those two can be in the same game, Magma Almudron and Agnaktor can be in the same game. Like, come on. You can't really use that as an excuse if you brought back Uragon and then made Radobon. Even in Rise they did this. They brought back Gyarados, but also created Almudron, who is a significantly better monster than Gyarados. So in the past two most recent games, they've done this. So I don't really see a reason for them not to do it again. So if you were hoping that Agnaktor and Zamtrios would make it in the game, and were a little bit disappointed with the reveals of Lunageron and Magma Almudron, I would say just wait until the actual game, because in my opinion, there's still a high likelihood that they'll make it in. Well, that's all for this little recap, just to kind of catch you up on what's been going on recently. And if you did enjoy this, I have more Monster Hunter content on my channel like this. I just released a predictions video, so check that out if you're interested. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys later.